Morning, everyone. As we get started with another 3 minutes with God um, on this Friday, finishing out Psalm 125, of course, in verse 5. So let's go ahead and start the timer. Psalm 125, verse number 5 says, "As for such as turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them away with the workers of iniquity. Peace be upon Israel." Um, And here the psalmist is just finishing out the thought of the sufficiency in the Lord, and it's this was, as we stated before, this psalm is broken down into in a sense three parts. It's looking at the stability in the Lord, security in the Lord, and now we're looking at the sufficiency in the Lord. That how um, dealing with yesterday, compounding it and contrasting this with verse number 4, uh, to those who are the righteous and those who do good, um, that God will continue to protect them and God will do good for them, um, and everything as such as that. But then he contrasts that by saying, "But for those who turn aside to crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them away with the workers of iniquity." Um, that those people who um, do not put their trust in the Lord, who um, just continue to go and do things that is in complete opposition to what God is saying. Now, this is not just talking about people who um, make mistakes or anything like that, but because God knows everything. If you think all the way back to Genesis 3 in the during the divine interrogation, when uh, when God gave handed out the punishment to Adam, Eve, and the serpent, uh, that God gave a chance to mankind, to man and woman, so to speak, um, to get back on the right path. But if you recall, that there was no restoration for the serpent, and that is because God knows everything, and God knows that He would never change. Um, in another instance, that if you think back to when dealing with the children of Israel in Egypt and coming out of in Exodus, when God hardens the heart of Pharaoh, it's not that God was, just saying that I'm not going to give Pharaoh a chance, but God already knew that Pharaoh would never change his heart and never change his mind and trust in God. So it's one of those things that is who verse 5 is speaking of. It's those people who, regardless of whatever, what God does and how God shows up, that they will just never believe in Him and trust in Him. And that is who verse 5 is speaking of, and um, not just people who happen to make a mistake here and there and slip and fall. So as I leave you today, I leave you just with this, is just to know that at the end of the day, and when it's all said and done, God will have the final say, and that God will reign and God will rule. So God bless you and have a great day.